Whether it's Lee Haney you're talking about, Dorian Yates, Ronnie Coleman, or just Ronnie Magro from the Jersey Shore, having a large back is what really makes athletes stand out from each other on stage, or just the average beach body stand out from the regular Joes on the beach. Okay, having a large, wide, developed back is crucial, particularly in bodybuilding if you want to go far in the sport at all. Now, in the past 6 or 7 years that I've been competing, in the past 6 or 7 shows that I've done, my back has only been one of my strongest attributes and has attributed to how I've done so well in all the different competitions right up into the men's open as a teen. The key is knowing how to work out different areas of your back. See, your lats in particular are the lowest part of your back, next to your erectors and the lumbar, of course. But as far as the actual wingspan goes on someone's back, your lats are that muscle that pops out to either side. The problem is, most people don't realize that they're not hitting their lats when it comes to most lat exercises. So I want to touch base on a very distinct back movement in general that everybody uses. This could be possibly, debatably, one of the most effective back movements out of all back movements, and yet I see so many people doing it incorrectly, and that is the dumbbell row. Posture is key to back training, whether you're doing upright cable pull downs or bent over free weight rows. Your posture and your torso, particularly in your back, is going to be the same exact way no matter what. Now, here comes the issue. The number one thing I see beginners mess up is that posture, and it's typically because of how they're taught to train. I'll hear their trainers or teachers describe the posture in 2 different ways. The common one is to keep your back straight. The other way I often hear it described is to keep a natural arch in your back. Now, both of these are correct. The problem is when you're a beginner, you're not sure exactly what those words mean, and you're definitely not sure how to actually make it happen and feel it the correct way. So what will often happen is a beginner is told to keep their back nice and straight, but then they witness somebody doing these rows with proper form and they notice that they have a slight arch in their back. Now they become confused because they're hearing one thing and seeing another. The second way I hear it described is to keep that natural arch in your back. The problem is people start focusing so much on arch in their back, they overdo it and they go out of their way to bend their back. This is obviously going to cause a whole lot of injury and you won't be lifting correctly at all. So the key I've found is to ignore what shape your spinal cord's in altogether. Don't even pay attention to it. It'll stress you out. Focus on 2 key points that are fail-safe, and that's your butt and your chest, okay? Butt out, chest out. Same motion for both. For both your butt and your chest, they're both going out. Easy enough to remember. Butt out, chest out. Like a girl who's about to break it down at the club, or like a guy who's trying to look all tough like Superman, or even just a bodybuilder in a relaxed pose. Butt out, chest out. That's going to cause a nice natural arch in your back, which is for the most part straight. The more forward you come, you can see the more my spine projects out of my back. That means the more pressure is going to be on my spinal cord, and that's dangerous. That's how you're going to ruin yourself. So keep your butt out and your chest out. That's going to make your back nice and straight with a natural arch in it, and keep your posture nice and strong so you can roll that weight injury-free. They say build from the ground up, so obviously your legs are going to be a strong supporter in any sort of free weight movement you do involving back. So the key is obviously to make sure you don't neglect your lower body, but to also make sure you put focus in exactly how your lower body is stanced. You want your feet placed just right to have a perfect back workout. Now, without the bench, which is an excellent version of the dumbbell row, one of my favorites, you would have the opposite foot of whichever arm you're rowing be your anchor foot. So if you're doing a set with your right arm, you put your left foot forward and you lean everything onto that foot. That's your anchor foot, okay? That's your foundation. That leg supports your entire body plus the weight. Now the problem is, if you have both your feet in front like so, as soon as you go to pick up a weight, you're going to fall forward. So you take the other leg, the one on the same side as the arm you're rowing with, and you get it out of the way of your arm by kicking it back. Now that is your supporting leg, okay? That's your stabilizing leg. That's going to balance you out. That's going to allow you to sit back, put all the weight onto your legs, so that way you don't fall forward and you can better control the weight. Now you take the same principle and you just apply it to the bench. You obviously no longer need your foot, so it ends at the knees. You put one leg down on the bench, opposite of whatever arm you're rowing, dead center of your body, okay? Like you're standing up, and you simply lean forward. You then take this leg, kick it back, as far back as you can go, like you're about to do a sprint, out of the way, and that stabilizes you, that balances you, that stops you from falling sideways off the bench, stops you from falling forward. It stabilizes you and balances you out. You can even sprawl your leg out to the side a little bit. The point is, it's out of the way, your body is nice and stretched out, so you have full access to stretching the lat and contracting it as you need, okay? This arm becomes your other foundation, okay? You put this in front of you, directly in front of your leg, and put all your upper body on that arm. Now this is where your posture comes into play. Remember, butt out, chest out. Always remember that. Butt out, chest out. Legs like you're going to sprint. Here's the big key to making or breaking your dumbbell row and building a back. So many people do this incorrectly. This is the part that even people who have been working out for years do wrong, all right? Especially on the football teams where they train you for power. Dumbbell rowing like this. Grabbing the dumbbell and rowing it upward, just straight up and down. That's completely incorrect when it comes to working out your lats. The final key to making this exercise successful is the same key that's going to help you and allow you to keep your elbow pinned in towards your side. Okay? The biggest mistake I see people making, grabbing the dumbbell, rowing it straight up and down. Notice how the dumbbell's coming up to my chest? That's making my elbow flare outward. Don't roll the dumbbell up and down. Think of it like you're starting a chainsaw. How would you pull the string on a chainsaw? You begin right here with the chainsaw in front of you. You pull it back. Grab the dumbbell directly on the floor, arm hanging down, in position, butt out, chest out. Row it back towards your belt buckle. Okay? My hand will be coming right to where my belt buckle would normally be, allowing my arm to stay pinned against my side and allowing my lat to do all the work. You'll notice this gives a nice range of motion on my actual lats. And I drop down ever so slightly to get a stretch in the side of the lat, and I raise up ever so slightly to get a nice contraction. And that's how you do it. Drops down, arm hanging 90 degrees, and I don't just pull up to my chest, I pull back to my belt buckle like I'm pulling a chainsaw, starting a chainsaw. That will make the biggest difference in your back workout, and you'll notice your lats grow from this. To find out whether or not you're targeting your lats or not, take some pictures or a video of yourself posing some back shots. You'll find a lot of people who feel like they have large backs, and do for the most part, will have a nice wide frame up at the top near their shoulders. But it'll be more like a T instead of a Y. A lot of times right here will be fairly narrow and they'll have a nice wide area up here, and that's because they're doing rows with their elbows way out to the side, and that's going to be targeting their teres up here, which will get this top part of your back nice and wide, but you're not going to have any wings when it comes to hitting that lat spread. Switching up your technique, keeping the elbows in, rowing, that's what's going to really target the lats, get the thickness and fullness of your back. Give that a try. If you guys have any questions at all, go to Facebook and just type in Nick Wright Bodybuilding. Facebook.com/Nick Wright Bodybuilding. That's our team page, NWB. Tank tops, clothing line, yeah, whole 9 yards. We always rep it, NWB. Go on there, hit me up. I'll get back to you right away. If you have a personal question, tweet me, Nicholas M. Wright. Hope this helped, guys. Check out the channel for more.